So today's date is so today's date battery save is on. Battery save is on. Sorry guys. This battery save is on. So today's video is literally basically three things I discovered. But my battery is very low, so I charge it. I'll charge it properly, I'll make it here. 1 second. So I'm back. I'm back. After this problem. So I'm going to the toilet. So after this video very well. So basically this video is very helpful for me for journal continuity. So if I forget this video I did something wrong, someone should remind me. So my losses against Stork for human rights violation is coming to 1.2 billion pounds. But it is the money I calculated with Claude AI. So I think just get a video from anywhere. Homelessness, 3 years of imprisonment at board unit as a child, currently here in private group Sussex, not retaining 1.2 billion pounds. It's quite a lot of money, but I use AI to calculate that, and I calculated myself. So, because I'm a very smart person, I calculated myself, like literally 1.2 billion. Then I did to 1.1 billion, and just 1 billion pounds have to give me an extra 1 billion. But I don't want to deviate on the crisis of things because I want to go and use the toilet. I want to go use the toilet. So if I'm speaking fast, guys, or someone watch my journal remind me, that I'm a human being. I it's 1.2 billion. Because the way things are going, I don't think I'll get that money. But let me put close to this. So if I die, anything that happens, the body goes to Biafran sovereignty, and they can build the constitutional complex, or anybody that die, because I know how it works. So Article 51, right to human rights, right to basically I see my human rights article is 80 human, I have 80 human rights in the article of evidences, but that's computational. To the five, to the 5 human rights is not enough. Based on we got 30 human rights. So if you have your new evidence, because you got to calculate it again. One eye. If your eye is damaged, you get half a human right. If you have one eye, one full working eye, you have one. Then we have no problem with. That's one dimension of sight, and that's one human right. Same for nose, mouth, ears, skin. If it's damaged, you can't feel stuff. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25. Together 35. 35 human rights needed for a neurotypical person. Only 30. But literally, because I'm using the toilet now, I have to make some things very clear. So he has to go to Biafran sovereignty and via the OB Nexus constitutional framework. Like I stated, Biafran sovereignty via the OB Nexus constitutional framework. Like, actually having things to do in life, like I'm saying it wasn't small, but it's done properly. So, has to go through people say it's quite new. So as a first human rights is right to self-defense. And this is what OBNX is bound by. So it's a human rights sovereignty. OBNX my business is bound by. O for Oscar, B for Bravo, I for Indigo, G for November, E for Echo, S U for Umbrella, S etc. But to do it properly. So the update was basically me not ranting. So all my work, all my things, all my patterns go to different sovereignty. So you can build their own. So you can have some stuff. I'm doing it because I'm a human being. I'm actually a human being. Second thing. Yeah. So everything, my projects, everything goes to Biafran Sovereignty. People like me in Navy, Nigeria, Anambra, Afuta, so can build the house, build my vision, my legacy, what I want to leave behind, But basically, my operation is return of the riches. If I get out here, UK, I'm suing UK 1.2 billion because countries can sue each other. So OBS is a country, but it's a constitution. So basically, OBS is a country. Yes, it's a constitution country. So I'm building a new country from the old stuff, but I'm building a constitution. So I declare OBS as a constitution because it's anti-fragmented. It doesn't need rest. You can actually have some sense to think and some space to breathe and do some work. And as the overall policy, the breathing space should be used for breathing, like living and working. The spaces that are barren, this was not there. That means something's gone wrong. But also choose. Oh yes, what you said water. So, tier 3C constitutional bound. You have the wards, but you have the back. So I haven't seen a brother being in prison. that work. So if it didn't work for me and I didn't get out, I won't make a prison. So there's no prison in the constitutional framework. So you have to be on the wards, and I think it keeps people there and idle. That's zone 6. So zone 7. So zone 7 is the so-called wards, which are no prisons, because I haven't been in a prison. If it gets put me in a prison and it works, when I get out, you just be in prisons next. For no reason. Because, there's no reason to put you someone in prison, and there's no reason to get someone else in prison. But, I'm trying to free people to actually care about. I don't care about Anand Kanu because he caused himself that problem. He was one causing himself problems. But, I love him. I love him. I do love him. I do love him. But I don't love the way he's thinking. I'm Namtek Bala, by the way, but yeah, I don't really care about me. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'll get out of here myself, without killing anyone. Because I've been here before 3 years, so I know how to get here quickly. But it's not really angry or anything. I don't really care no more. I'm leaving the UK. So after my P Masters in the UK 1 year. Hopefully I do 1 year because I'm not doing PhD anymore. 1 year I leave. But if that's this year, I get into a master's course. That's 1 year. This 1 year starts from this year, 2026. I'll leave to UK to Nigeria. 2027 I'll be back because I'm really trying to do it myself, and they don't want to give me my freedom and independence. So, no better place than home. We got a compound, we got things. I don't really care about it. UK housing, new housing, old housing, don't care. I have things stability there anyway. I can do my lawsuits, everything I want to do online there. I don't have to call just call the international people. So if you go to Dylan's page, TikTok at Dylan Page, D for Dynamite, L for Lima, Y for Yankee, A for Alpha, N for November, P for Papa, A for Alpha, G for Golf, E for Echo, Dylan Page. You have his him declaring, I'm not him, I don't care about him, by the way, but I'm seeing him Dylan Page talking about countries can now shoot us. So obviously this is a country, we join the countries, but with this constitutional model. So, I didn't just join the country. Constitution is a country, it's just not fragmented. It doesn't play with your mind. It doesn't, I went to the toilet in the park in the UK and, I had to walk all the way to the park because I found a neurodivergent court in central London, and neurodivergent court. I had to go all the way to central London, past Waterloo, going on northeastern line, past Waterloo, just the last stop from Waterloo. I came on the train station and I put my thing in and I wanted to do Waterloo. I had to go take my phone out, go all the way to the park on a bus, which is like seven stops from the bus stop. Found the park, took a video of me doing uplifting of my body on the park and the bench pressing and all that stuff. I didn't do bench pressing, by the way. I just did like the bars, up and down, and used the toilet. When I went to the toilet, there was a fucking thing there. It was so sanitary, first of all, but sanitary and people washing their hands next to washing their feet. We can brush your teeth and wash your feet at the same time next to the basin, toilet basin. That's disgusting, guys. That's what I mean by fragmented. It messes your mind. You don't want to use the toilet. I didn't want to use the toilet. I was going to get out. I was trying to run out. I don't care how dirty it is. Honestly, always have some problem. Then I'll use the toilet. But I was running out because my leg was not broken. I could still walk, so I could still do it, but there's something wrong with me in that frame. And, I'm making it, 1.2 billion is enough to build everything I want to build in my life, and no one should touch my fucking money. Pay your debt. Pay your debt. But I don't want a woman. I don't want a man. I have to wait till I'm 25 years old. But I'm doing experimentation, so I don't need to avoid no human beings, by the way, because I know the human spirit than me. So that's how it works for me. It has to be done well. So I go to the toilet now again. Fucking hell. So last is last. Second is second. So things like experience of people should be doing that. But zone 7. So zone 7 is basically the wards for people like people that are crazy. Not us though. We have zones. So you get zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and you have 3 zones for stability. So you get all in that zone if you're beyond sovereignty. But you have zone 4, zone 5, zone 6. So zone 4 is business. Zone 5 is what? Constitution. So I'm trying to get people into the constitution, but people that are my people. So if zone 4 and 5 are business, no way. This is zone 5 because see it goes outside because Because I don't know actually. Because if you're doing business, the constitution protects you. If you're doing constitution work, you can go outside and do that. You have to do more experimentation. So so basically, I love that kind of idea of working for myself and doing stuff. But it's basically So OBI zone 0, zone 1, or SA is zone 2, which is the rings, circles. Let me try and draw them actually. So I got this already here. So you get circles and circles, 0BI zone compound, SA compound, Uche compound. This is just three compounds here, but it's just limited to based in the area, so there's three compounds there, Then the center, you have zone 4, 1, 2, 3. From the center, zone 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you go 0, and you have the other one, zone 4, which is like business access. And you have zone 5. It's called OB. Oh, it's called OB nexus. So zone 4 should be OB nexus. So zone 4 should be constitutional bound. Zone 4 is constitutional bound. Constitution bound. Just like legislation, legal stuff. And so no, because I want to put the business people. So should I put the business people first, or should I I'm a businessman, so you get constitutional protection anyway, because you have to use your business on the OB necessary, so you have to be on the constitutional framework, so it has to be under it, so you have to be in like a zone 3 and 4. And zone 5 is business stuff, things will reject, And zone 6 is like expansion zone for us, so they can't choke us. Zone 6 and 7 is expansion zone. No, zone 7 is expansion zone. So 6 is expansion zone. And zone 8 is zone 6. So basically, use it for anything like wards, expansion of the system, but of us, so it can. So okay, let's have zone 6 and 7 is expansion zone, and zone 8 is human rights zone. So you can use 6 and 7 and 8 for the wards. Just make sure you get some benefit from it, Test your hypothesis there, Just don't blow us up, please, guys. But basically everything is basically use a perimeter, use a facing up, no east. But more thing I want to say before I go to the toilet, I'm so tired. So this is my charger right now. It's charging my phone. If I unplug my charger, it's still charging my phone. Oh, I took it off. So it's my phone here. If I unplug my charger, it's still charging my phone. So it's 9%. If I since it's turned on now, it's just on. So if I unplug my phone, and this is charging. So you see this power. So I'm saying to you, if I plug my phone now, this power bank has active AC. So basically, active AC basically active alternating current. So this power bank, I plug it into the phone, and it comes in, it charges, it starts to charge. But when I take it off, so basically when the power dies, you have to know that it's been charging. So that's basically what's active, because we've got active systems that absorb and consume. So we have sensors that are on the battery, so we don't have to measure liquidation, measure the kind of liquid or temperature or something, based on some kind of factor. We just know what the battery is. So basically, it has to be an active system that knows what it's doing. It's not passive system. It knows what it's doing. Active electrolysis or active electricity alternating current. Basically, should just work like this power bank, but know what it's doing. Because when I take the power off the phone to charge the phone, it should know to keep the current in place, for some kind of fuse in place to switch on when it's connected. So we never leave power when you need it, but basically it starts to charge automatically. Basically, it's automatically charging. So it started charging now. But if I take this off, see it's still charging. If I take this off, I'll turn this off. It's I want to turn it off basically. I want to turn it off. See, it's not turning off, like I'm saying. So because it's still charging, it's letting the current flow. Once I unplug this and turn off. Oh, see. Oh, it's still charging. See, it's still charging. See, basically, this is wrong. This isn't right. So this is turned off. It was able to know what it's doing, but it's usually in the state of on. Now it's turning off. So I have to turn it on and off manually. I didn't even turn off. This is not working. But it's not charging. It's still not charging. So basically, I'm not put the back end. See, it's now charging. So it's not charging backwards. So it's not working with the system. Now plug it back in. I charge it. So she's charging, but literally my game my goes to build my so basically you got this opportunity. I'm trying to use download my operating system Mmuko OS N for Mike U for umbrella K for kilo O for Oscar dash OS the operating system that never forgets you on 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 you by email. So basically, if the NSIGII protocol works as intended, the benchmark is sent by email. So that's what we call the baseline benchmark. Basically, you have to watch, send the email, send NSIGII, use to download your operating system Mmuko OS on github.com/obnexus via Trident pairs. So you have so basically how this works basically formally is it does work. I'm pretty sure it does work. You have a spring, and a spring. So we have to put the spring. We have a spring. You have kinetic and potential energy. So you have potential difference over the two by order. So you have potential. If you put a spring, you have two orders by order. So potential energy and kinetic energy. You have potential. So kinetic energy is basically the force you have to when it's actively doing its job, uh, actively processing. Like I said, you have kinetic energy stored energy. But this energy is the same as equal to equivalent. You just like it's just work in different systems or different dimensional systems. You know, different access. So can you see if I put like a spring here, and I let it go, spring go. You know, that basically that spring goes bam bam. It has to go. It takes half the energy to send an email. So basically, if I send an email, giving you Mmuko OS, basically based on WAN, wireless area network, and MAN, which you're putting into the network, you're downloading Mmuko OS over emails. But but I want to see how this works. So basically, it's not even blockchain or anything. You have to go to the repository of Mmuko OS. You just have to have NSIGII, you have to be on the NSIGII protocol by via email, via SPTM, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So if you are on SIGI SMPTM, you can download Mmuko OS. You just have to be here and now and be in a still state forever to just get Mmuko OS. So the goal is to have the three packets, which are the Mmuko OS packets, in three segments, but they download like a roof independent system. So they keep bouncing around. You just download, so it doesn't cut off. So basically, how this works, it doesn't cut off. You don't have to resume the download of Mmuko OS because that's the trial system. It's very important you understand it. You don't have to resume it. Once you download it, you can cancel it, but it's finish. So how this works basically, more mathematically, is you have three sets of bytes, three sets of systems. Let's say 64 bytes. 64 bytes array, 64 bytes array, or blob of file. Think about file. You pick up that file. So you have three messages, three emails, three messages and three packets. You have to get three messages on, but these three messages are just three packets, three big packets. They can be the three messages you can call them packets. But let's call them packets, and these packets have to bounce around. So you can have what do I pay? You're gonna have we started here three messages. Well, these three messages are trying to package. So that's three poles. So these three poles have messages XYZ, XYZ, and these poles have a because these three messages have poles. So they have so this message goes on the x-axis. One says on the x-axis. This is called a packet. This one goes on the y-axis. Also, this one goes up and down, and this one goes left and right, side to side. Side to side. So if you remember the quantum model of it, if you have up, you get down. If you have up, you get down. If you have left, you get right. If you basically, it was like a progressive wave. So let me just get the one I'm talking about before I fuck it up for myself too. So you got the quantum QFT model, quantum field theory. You got the QFT diagram. Which I had mad gates, but Feynman diagrams, yes, quantum field theory diagram, Feynman diagrams. But I'm trying to find quantum electron diagram. Yes, I love these electron diagrams. Because it's so expressive. Basically, I'm looking at an electron diagram right now, but I am just like looking at this in the wrong way. Quantum field theory tunneling. I'm not doing this right. So you have an effect, not a cause. So you have an effect. So the effect is basically something gone wrong, something went wrong in your life, But I'm trying to which is Feynman's diagram very good because you go to basically I'm trying to find the quantum physics, quantum physics. Because Richard Feynman did a lot of work on it, and I'm really glad of his work. I'm really glad of his work on quantum physics, elementary particles. Yeah. So I'm using the elementary particles to model this via Mmuko boot systems, polar Mmuko boot, but quantum mechanics. Hydrogen wave function. No, guys. Let me check elementary particles. Elementary particles. Fundamental blocks of one. Okay, so I'm going to say here. I forgot how it's working. I was intending. So so you get a standard model of particle physics. You get the muon neutrino, but you get this diagram here. Tau. The tau is a particle. Minus one half. Most people T plus, which is a proton. T minus positive. Oh my days. So I can't even find it now. Oh my days. It's like lagging so much. Okay, let me just open this image in new time. Open image in new time. So you have up, down. If you have up, you get down. If you have, but the Mmuko substate, anything that's not verified, it's like a strange property. I think I don't even know how to do it. It's not right. So I'm saying to you, I'm trying to have a simple mail transfer protocol and a plus NSIGII, N for November, S for Sarah, I for India, G for Golf, I for India, I for India, to be the default downloader. But SMTP this is the standard email protocol for the system. So it's sparse. So I'm trying to download it by going to integrating this with the SIGINT. But the training package has to have 3 packets, and these packets have work like springs. So you have 3 methods, also one article can download, but it has to be like a balancing. So basically, it works like springs, but they work in balancing, like kind of balancing mechanics. So so you have X direction, you have negative X. So once the message travels back, basically once the message is sent, you send it halves. When you send the message, when you're in a half state of share, when you are in a half spin of very important half spin of sent executed. Send equals executed. So you have already sent the message. This is a pre-flight fetch. This is a pre-flight send operation. And if you have the other half, 1 plus 1, you have one full sent message. So basically, you are trying to observe a message by a set of states. So you have 2 packets. 2 packets are 2 messages. 2 messages. And 2 messages can be like 1, 0, and 1. But basically, it's quantum physics, so everything has to have a spin. So if the quantum physics, if you know what I'm saying, assign grid to grid like this, grid to grid like this. I'm gonna make it grid now. So you have three bits. So let's say you have 8-bit message. No, 64 bits. 3 times 64. So 3 packets, 64-bit message. 64 bits message. Basically 64 times 3 is 64. This is not just Abram maths, this is God maths. 3 times 64 times 3 is 192. No wait. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, no. 8 to the power of 2. 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8 is 256. No. 8 to the power, 3 to the power of 8 is 65. No. Yeah. Okay. So let me do 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8 is 256. 256 bytes is needed to verify the message. 256 bytes of data to 8 bits, and that's 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8, and you have 8 to the power of 3. 8 to the power of 3. 512. So they are 512 bytes. 512 bytes. So for the verify to work, you have to have 252 thirds 512 divided by 256, and that's 2. See, it's 2. Perfect. See what I did, guys? It's 2. So 2 is important. But if I have 2, these are 2 segments of memory. So basically, this is 2. This 2 means you have 2 bytes. So basically, it can be 64 bytes of data. 64, 2 sets of 64 bytes of segments of memory. So 2 times 64 will give you, 2 times 64 will give you 2 sets. So basically, 2 sets of 64, no 2 times 64. 2 sets of 64, 64 times 2, 64 bytes of data. Okay, let's say 64 times 64. Let's see what that is. It's 500, 409 bytes of data. So it doesn't matter the bytes. So let me do it properly. So you have how the operating system, the messages are the packets. So you have 256 bytes of data, for example. And you do, that's 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8. Very important you get this right, Namdi. And you have 8 to the power of 2. That's equal to 512 bytes. So you have a ratio between 2 to the power of 8 and 2. And if you then do 256 divided by 512, you see the answer is 2. Oh no. 512, you see the answer is 2. So 200, so you do 512 divided by divided by 256. 512. You have 256 divided by times. So basically, so you now have 8 to the power of 3, or 2 to the power, 2 to the power of 8 to the power of 3. No, 8 to the power of 3 is the last one I'm going to show you. From 8 to the power of 3, no, it's the same 512. So 512, so this is the one-to-one mapping between 8 to the power of 2 and 8 to the power of 3, because I'm doing this for so long, which is 512, 8 to the power of, or 2 to the power of 8. So 2 to the power of 8 again is 8 to the power of 8 to the power of 8 to the power of 3 is 512, and 8 to the power of 2 is 64. No, I did this wrong. Or 2 to the power of 8 to the power of 2 is 64. So you get 64 bytes. So this is right, really. But these are just segments. So the goal is to have a binary sequence of segments aligned as some kind of artifact, some kind of artifact that knows. But Mmuko is to be sent by mail, so but they work in Springfield, so they're interdependent because you can send them by by post, the post. But they work on XYZ, so I'm still working on it, but because that was spins, that's what the resolve. So you have an interdependency resolver that behaves like an onion system, but it is an onion system, but with a quantum spin. So you get that. So if some say 64 has a positive half, positive half spin, positive half, 54, and it's on an x-axis. 64. Is it half? Positive half it's about to be sent. The first trial. So half, so you get half x, half y, and half z. We have to halve. So you have half plus half, which makes the means sent on the x-axis. So the first package will be received. So it is sent. Sent equals received. But basically, if sent equals received, you have a system that just observes by 2 half spins. So 2 half spins means you are getting either sent or received. So you just have to check. You just have to relay whether it's sent or received, so it doesn't fall down. I'm going to use the toilet now, but that's again, it's kind of new. But you go to muon, so you go to quantum field, and you muon is equals 1,000, 1 divided by 1,000. What I believe it does. I hope I'm not crazy here, but my math is right so far. Guys, let me check this. So you have the muon is 100, 1 divided by 100. So 100 of it will be to verify. So you use the muon, just observe 100 of the system, but based on kind of I'm going to use the toilet, but it goes to have a tenth of stability, which is electron, which is a lepton, 10% stability to a muon, which is 100. If you can measure a tau, which is 1,000, but you just want one tenth of 1/10 is a muon. 1/10 of the measurement of the quantum tunnel is basically 10% of stability. But the ratio, I don't even know how to use the ratio yet, but I haven't studied that kind of, I haven't gone that far. But anyway, 10% is what the system should use. So I'm trying to apply this with the kind of system of non-reality. So basically, the work on pi over 2. Okay, so basically, quantum spin will be pi over 4, which is let's do half spin pi over two. We pi over two, which is half pi over two times which is measures of polar axis. Pi over two times two. Pi over two. Let's just try this because I don't remember. How do you remember how this? Because I'm using pi over two. Guys, don't laugh at me, but I'm kind of smart. Pi over two, which is 1.5707 times two pi over five pi over two times two will give me pi will give me pi again, and pi is just a ratio of a half, and that a half is 3.14, and this is pi over two times one. This is like a cent, but I'm saying okay. Thank you guys for watching this video. I gotta use the toilet now. I'll use this paper now. Thank you. Bye bye.